What's good, y'all? Elvis here. So I'm starting a new series on my YouTube channel called Better Barbering, where I basically give as many tips and tricks I can that made me a better barber that other people can apply to make them better barbers. And so the first episode today, I'm really just talking about sanitation, but then also like I'm just run through my specific setup and stuff I got at my station. And given I know my setup is not the best, but it works really well for me and it's as optimal as it possibly can be at this moment. But you know, there's always room to make things better. So what I'm gonna do is run through all the stuff in my station, and then I got a lot of sanitation tips I want to talk about because that's something I feel like barbers are really lacking on. So here we go. All right, so we here at Barber Nails Beyond. This is my station. So here, got a little plastic drawer thing. And this is where I keep all my brushes and combs, and I keep clips and stuff in here, hair grippers, all that stuff. Oh, business cards, of course. But here we keep combs. One thing I feel like barbers really be lacking on is I don't think barbers have enough combs. I've seen barbers with like 2 combs, and that's fine if you're gonna be cleaning combs like in between cuts, but I feel like if you have a lot of combs, then you don't gotta worry about none of that. Then you can just wash them all at your own leisure. But here, there's miscellaneous stuff. But on my station right here we got Barbicide. This is crucial. You need Barbicide in a shop. If you at home, not necessarily. I had a Barbicide jar. I keep a Barbicide jar at the crib because I used to cut at the crib. And I'm not gonna front, it's a good look if you're cutting at the crib. People just take you a lot more professionally. Same thing with a sharps container. You don't necessarily need a sharps container, but it's the most sanitary way to dispose of blades, and it's a good look. Clients might not ask about specifics when it comes to your sanitation, but when they peep things like this, they already know you care. Of course, Cool Care, gotta have that. You know, mousse, all these just products. You know, some Lysol in a bottle so I could just clean stuff off. Paper towels. Here I got my Masters charging. Oh damn, how keep left you charging all weekend. That's not great. Here I got my little airbrush. Oh shit. Here I got my little airbrush compressor. I use a 245 no drip semi-permanent enhancement. I think it's A1. A1. But what else? All right. Let's get into my tools. It's a little it's not as neat as I'd like it to be, but it's actually a lot cleaner than it usually is. All right, so here's my main arsenal. This is right here is my favorite clipper, to be real. The Babyliss FX clipper. I got the custom FX, and then I also painted them because I didn't like the color scheme that much. But the paint on the FX clippers, I kind of feel like it's kind of cheap. But you know, it's not that big of a deal. But I actually do want to repaint these. I might make a video about that. These also I painted, but this was roughly a year ago, and you can see they're starting to go through it. Here I got 2 pairs of Masters. Masters were my favorite pair, hands down, before I got these. But I really like these for blending, especially like fading if I'm skipping guards and stuff. Here I got my trimmers, these Andis Slimline Pro LIs. These, I'm not gonna front, they feel kind of cheap compared to all my other trimmers, especially these feel real solid in your hands. But these are my go-to. They're I think they're quality. People tell me they sometimes have trouble with the switches. I mean, over time, you know, they're gonna get worn down. That's how everything is. Everything gets worn down with use. But I'm not too worried about them. I feel like these are the cheapest quality cordless clippers out, if I'm being honest. So here I got my Andis Super ZR2s. These I love with a passion. Detachable blade clippers just rip through hair super easy, super smooth, very few passes. Here I got all my blades, of course, because you gotta buy the blade separate. Here I got my guards. These are for my Babyliss clippers, and then these are for my Andis clippers. And honestly, I have bigger guards than these, but you don't. I wouldn't say you really need a guard bigger than a 2 if you use clipper over comb, because that'll really make your life a lot easier. Here Here I got my shaver in here. Come on, bro. One-handed. All right, so my Andis shaver. This is the updated black one. Honestly, it's the same as the old one, but it's just they moved the connector here because it comes with the dock, so I can just put this on the dock. But I don't use it that often, honestly, because most of my clients don't either ask for it or they generally get irritation with it. So that's for very specific clients. Here, got a Black Widow razor. I really like this. I really like this razor handle. It just feels solid and it looked pretty. Yeah, I really don't need nothing fancy, but that's nice. Here we got shears. I got some thinning shears. Personally, I really like these shears, but I think these are kind of mid-tier shears. Like I want to get some real bougie ass shears. But you know, I don't know if I'm trying to spend the bread like that yet, because I don't use shear work on that many of my clients. Here I got these nice little curved shears. I really like these. So I like to use these shears mainly to shape froze and whatnot, but then also with my wavers, you know, it helps get a lot of the small hairs that stick up. Also, a lot of times I just kind of freehand and get those. Here I got another pair of curved shears, but these are left-handed. I'm trying to give these away high key because I'm not left-handed. Super important, clipper brush to dust off your clippers. But a big thing people do not talk about: don't use your clipper brush on your clients. Keep separate brushes, because this brush is the most unsanitary thing you got in your whole station, because you don't clean this brush. And you brush off your clippers and you spray your clippers, but you don't spray this brush. So make sure you're not using that on clients. That's a big thing I see with a lot of barbers. But all right, so we're gonna run through the rest of my station. Oh, here I just keep some, you know, extra neck strips and razors and whatnot. I bought this a while back, but I don't think I've ever used it. But you know, rather have it not need it than need it not have it. Here I got other, you know, I gotta keep some extra cool care on me. Blade care. I love blade care for detachable blades, to be honest, but I don't care to use it for my adjustable blades, just because the detachable blades, you know, the whole blade can come off and you can wipe off all the excess. But with adjustable blades, you still end up with a little bit of blade care in the clipper, and I just don't care for that. Hairspray. This got to be hairspray. I think this is dope, but I don't really use hairspray on my cuts anymore. So I guess it's another thing, have it not need it, or rather have it not need it than need to not have it. All right, in here, oh, big thing. I keep this container for my combs and brushes, whatever. It's a little two compartment thing. So I keep my clean ones in here and put my soiled ones in here. And I don't actually use this barber side jar right here in the shop. That's kind of for show, if I'm being 100%, because I keep one at the crib and I just wash all my stuff when I get to the crib. So yeah, so whenever I'm done with brushes and combs, I just throw them in here real quick, and then, you know, grab clean ones here. But then at the end of the day, I usually just take this home and clean it. But I just didn't do that this weekend, I guess. But this is just storage and shit. And here, all right, so here is usually where I keep all my enhancement stuff. I got little airbrush things and brushes. These little paint brushes I use just to paint on enhancement. I use Kiss Express, and I sometimes cut it with alcohol depending on what I'm doing. But oh, this is an empty box. So I got a spare gun in here, enhancement card. Shout out Barberville, dope ass enhancement card. Little bowl for color. All right, so this right here is actually just chargers and cables and stuff. Like, since I got hella wireless clippers, you know, I gotta keep the chargers on me. And here, okay, here I keep brushes, styling brushes. I don't really use styling brushes that often. I just have a bunch, because rather need it not have it than have it not need it. Keep some do-rags in here. I wash these every time I use them on my clients. Here's some unopened ones. I got some extra guards in here. These are all the longer guards that I never really use except for special occasions. Also got brushes I use on my clients. I clean these after every use. Gotta have screwdrivers, well, with all the little bits on it, just cause you're gonna need an assortment to get into all the screws on your clippers. And here, all right, here, I think this is super important. I wouldn't say super important, definitely useful though. I keep a bunch of black towels on me, and I use these to dust off my clients. Like I used to use the neck dusters or whatever, but I got really tired of having to clean those. And so I basically use one towel per client, dust them off, and I feel like they actually work a lot better than the neck dusters. With the neck dusters, if your client is sweating or whatever and you don't have talc powder, like it's really gonna be hard to get a lot of those hairs off. But with these microfiber towels, they just grab everything, and then also moisture, so you don't really got to worry about that. These are soil towels. I just kind of keep them out here, and then I throw them in my bag when I go home, and I wash them, throw them in the washing machine. This wasn't very practical when I didn't have a washing machine at the crib, but you know, I just happened to, so it works. But then also, you know, I usually throw the used do-rags in there too, so it's real easy cleanup, and I don't have to worry about buying talc powder or cleaning my brushes by hand or cleaning my neck dusters by hand. So that's pretty smooth. Here at the shop we got air hoses, and those, I mean, that takes care of most of the hair, but it doesn't get all of it. So I still like to use my towels. Of course, here, ring light, because lighting is super important. I wouldn't say this is very necessary for me to cut hair, but it really makes the pictures pop. And I would say invest in a ring light if you're really going to be if you're trying to take really good professional pictures for your cuts. But yeah, so that's really my setup right here. Oh, well, I mean, this is my chair. It's an important part of my setup as well. So that's my setup. This is a segment just on like sanitation in my setup. So I'm also just run y'all through my cleaning process for combs and brushes or whatever, all the stuff I do at the crib. All right, y'all, what's good? I'm here editing this video. And originally this was supposed to be just one video where I show my setup and then I talk about sanitation and cleaning my tools and whatnot. But not gonna front, this got a lot longer than I expected it, so I'm gonna make it a two-parter. This should be just part one of my sanitation / setup video. I appreciate y'all watching the first episode of the Better Barbering series. The second part would be more so me cleaning my implements, my combs and all that stuff. But till next time, crap over clout, I'm out.